What I want people to know is you always show up well and authentically. And then just make your number 2 goal to empower the person in front of you, no matter what. What is it you need to do or hear or say to figure out your most authentic self and then build your business on top of that?
Magnificence is the boundless expanse of being, a liberation from limitation. It is the embodiment of authenticity, where you shed the shackles of self-doubt, shame, and imposter syndrome. Here, worthiness flourishes like a vibrant garden where you have the power to determine your actions, destinations, and your closest relationships. In the realm of magnificence, creative individuality takes center stage. Your greatness is acknowledged, celebrated, and nurtured. Gone are the days of mindless conformity or fitting in just to keep the peace. This show and your host, Patricia Lindner, are here to guide you as you align with your authentic design, leading the way to a life of purpose and fulfillment. Magnificence is not some unreachable peak or distant dream. It's inside you, waiting to shine brighter than you ever thought possible. Welcome to your magnificence.
Hello and welcome to another really phenomenal episode of Magnificence, the one and only empowerment podcast that shines a light on the magnificence of its guests. And today I have with me, and I am guided to say, sort of a superwoman called Bridget Hom. And I am so happy that you are with me, Bridget. Hello and welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks, Patricia. I was excited to do this with you today. Really looking forward to it.
I'm excited to dive into everything that is magnificent about you. And before we talk about who you are, what you do, and what you're all about, I would love to introduce you to the audience. So I just put something together about who you are. So Bridget is one of the top mindset coaches. She's a business life coach. She's a sales trainer. She's a motivational speaker, as well as a founder of the Law of Deservability. And Bridget helps individuals to master emotional intelligence in their business and relationships. And recently, she has launched her new book, the brand new book called Stuck on Ready. What a phenomenal name for a book. Stuck on Ready, because she wants to help entrepreneurs and everyone who reads this book to move beyond fears, limitations, self-sabotage, doubt, and a lack of motivation. That is so cool. I really want to dive into the book and everything that is Bridget Hom. Welcome again. And just to start with, is there anything that I missed out on?
Well, actually, I will add in that I'm a mom of 3 savages, sweet children, boys.
Wow.
I'm married. I actually got Zoom divorced during COVID, and I actually met my husband in Zoom business networking. So married, wife, mother, love salsa dancer, worship leader. I would say that's a little bit extra about who I am. And I just love people, love to empower them to more and better.
And that is so cool. Now I am puzzled because I thought, and I introduced you as Superwoman because that's what I felt. That was this intuitive name that I thought I need to throw into this show. And now you say you are a mom of 3?
3 boys, yes, 13, 9, and 6.
Oh, wow. You are married. You do a lot of things. So I think I came up with the perfect name for you, the description for you. That is amazing.
I've always admired Wonder Woman, and I totally loved it. I'm like, my hair kind of looks like her. So maybe, I think for Halloween one year, I'm totally going to be Wonder Woman. But thank you for that title. It's very empowering of you to say that.
It is. And so I didn't think, what could I say about her? It really came to me. So Superwoman, Wonder Woman. Let's really dive into who you are. So you have 3 kids. You have this amazing business. You have the time to write a book. How the heck do you do that? Where do you take the time from? Where do you take the power from? So before we dive into your chart, just I want to hear from you. How do you manage all of that?
Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Uh, I'm very, honestly, the secret is just to be extremely intentional. To be extremely intentional with your task management and mind management. Because there's no such thing as time management. We all have the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So I actually also finished 2 co-authoring projects, one specifically if life coaches are listening. It's the toolkit for life coaches, and you can find that on Amazon. But writing is just an expression of the amazing, people that I've gotten to work with, where I keep creating new content for sales, branding, marketing, new mindset strategies like hire and fire the right mental team came out of that. So honestly, where I feel the most power and the most motivation to stay intentional, to honor my roles and goals comes from the people that I get to work with. The energy is in the interaction, the even exchange of energy. So that's what keeps me going every single day, to be that empowerment generator. And that's what everyone becomes in my programs. So that's what I would say, the intentionality and the power in the exchange of working with incredible people and entrepreneurs and coaches.
Yeah, that gives me the picture of an engine that is driven by this conversation, by this exchange. And you said generator, and that is the type of your human design. So it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I want to keep this show raw and real and authentic and transparent. And that is so amazing that you share all about that, because oftentimes, and you might have noticed that as well, people show up as just this mask and persona. And to be honest, I didn't think that. I still can't believe that you have 3 kids, that you have this family. I thought, and this is just my honest share,
Yeah.
you are this go-getter, single woman, maybe having a partner, but you are so 100% just solely focused on your business. And now this gives me such a much bigger picture of who you are. And I really want to pierce this persona and offer people an insight into who you really are. And that's that, and into the magnificence. That's my purpose and my mission with that show. So wonderful that you share all about that. So, Bridget, if you want me to share your chart, I would love to do that now, because I can add something to what you said. And here we go. That is your human design chart. Let me share some general things about it. So you said generator, that's your type. Generator means is someone who is really this engine who is running and running and running and running, generating energy from a work, from exchanging maybe words or tasks or whatever, and almost never running out of energy. So that is so true for you. You are someone who is driven by this aspect of becoming masterful at what you do, always improving, like this alchemist, improving your expertise, becoming better and better. And for you, it is true to say that you are not just improving, but you are generating and creating new things. You are developing new inspiring things as this special generator that I want to talk about. And I don't know if this resonates with you. So the generator aspect and then the inventor. So for me, this is a big aspect that is in your chart.
Oh, 100%. Well, that's literally, I have that in my programs. You will become the empowerment generator in my programs and create a culture of connectivity. But it's all, I mean, like you said, I'm an inventor, I'm a generator. I do this for the sake of the people that I talk with, that I work with. That's really what continues to drive me. I'm always thinking about them. Even like I'm laying in bed at night, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, what does Terry need to do next? What does that's always what fuels me. I constantly am thinking about my clients and my clients' clients and how they can succeed, because when they succeed, then I'm successful. So I have to keep learning something new so that I can present it and then show them how to implement that into their business, their life.
I love it. I resonate a lot with that because I think success is when others succeed through the services we offer, and when we can be the catalyst or the guide or the mentor or the doula, so whatever you may call it, someone who inspires other people and who helps them maybe get to their goals faster, or inspires them to see other aspects of what they already do. Because I believe that everything that people want to achieve is already inside of them. They just need someone to help them unwrap, unpack, and see the magnificence inside of them. And so I feel you are one of these people that exactly do that.
You know what, Sony? You have no idea, because I need circumstances to pull this out of me. You know, when I launched my coaching business, here's a quick story. I had no income coming in sight. It was during the reinvention evolution of 2020. And I just decided we were getting divorced, and I'd moved out of my big, beautiful home. And I was in an apartment with my 3 very young boys at the time. And my job in the seniors industry disappeared because of senior citizen safety. And so I got a random Zoom link, and it was sink or swim. And I'm like, do I pitch Bridge to Freedom coaching? What do I even pitch in this Zoom business networking meeting? And I just said, Bridget Hom here with Bridge to Freedom coaching. Are you ready to level up? And I had 6 clients within 6 weeks. And I just started creating, and I was walking alongside giants in marketing and sales. And they're like, Mom, let's do the show. Let's do these programs. And it was just like I was building the plane while I was flying it in entrepreneurship. And I always, because literally it was just like, yes, I can do this. And then figuring out as I went along. And when you learn in entrepreneurship, you jump in with 2 feet, success becomes inevitable, not just possible.
Yeah. I had this sentence on my mind, flying the plane while building it. That's what came to me when you said that. And that is so incredible. I think that is such a golden nugget for everyone who is listening, because that I didn't want to go that route right now, but that really leads me to talk about the book, because I think your title, or the title of the book, is so appealing to so many entrepreneurs out there stuck on ready. And you just told everyone and me about you building the plane while flying the plane. You just putting yourself out there without really knowing exactly what to talk about, without knowing. So you didn't prepare this perfectionist program that you wanted to sell maybe in half a year or a year. And you needed to read a gazillion of books and take another course to be perfect. Stuck on ready, is it expressing exactly what I'm talking about? That so many people have it all.
100%.
Don't do it.
Yes. It's so funny because based on all the people who have reached out to me about the book, because everyone, LinkedIn, Facebook, people have no problem reaching out. And I really appreciate that. I want to hear from anyone. And so they either see stuck on ready as I'm always ready, but I never make any moves for business growth, or they see it as stuck on ready. I'm ready to take action. It takes too long to get ready. So it's been interesting to hear how people receive that title. But it also tells me a lot about them. So if they're stuck on ready, they're probably in a state of analysis paralysis, and they want to be perfect. They want the business cards, they want the website, they want everything right before they take action to empower prospects to become clients. And I said, no, you don't need to wait. You will figure it out. Build a plane while you're flying it. So the people who say, I'm stuck on ready to make moves, I say, fantastic. You're action oriented. Let me show you how to do entrepreneurship successfully. And here's how to, I said to one person I was working with who was a veteran and a phenomenal speaker. I said, the chef doesn't cook the meal until it's ordered. So when you're creating your packages, make sure you're doing your organic market research. Ask people what they want. I actually pitched my book and workshops before I created any of it. And then had to obviously move very quickly. But we need those accountability points. We need to set those up for ourselves in entrepreneurship. Say yes before you feel ready, and you will become ready. say yes, and then you have that accountability to create programs and products and services. Because that's what we need in entrepreneurship. We don't have a boss lording over us, or saying, like, lording over us was kind of negative, but a boss encouraging us to, here, this is your next move. So we need to set those next moves up for ourselves in entrepreneurship.
Very motivating. And I have a bunch of questions about that, which I want to keep somewhere, and I hope I don't forget about them. Because that is, so I said we want to be raw and real.
Mm-hmm.
So true for you. And that is what I want to share with the audience. So true for you, because I want to go back to your human design chart. So everything that you shared, I would say 100% true for Bridget. She can fly the plane even if it is not ready yet. Because looking at your chart, and I look at the chart with the eyes of the artist, because I love that it is so colorful. And when you look at your chart, even though you are not a trained specialist in human design chart readings, you see that there are white centers on the top of the body graph, white centers to the right side and the bottom, and that you have this engine built in. And that's why I came up, that is my secret of why I came up with Superwoman. Because for me, this lets me allow to dive deeper into who Bridget is. And so we only met for a quick conversation. I don't know a lot about you, but what this picture shows me, and I wanted to really focus on that part that goes so hand in hand with what you just said. Just look at this as your amazing engine. That is such a powerhouse of a picture, because centers that are colored in, they are defined. That is the energy that is running inside your system, your specific system. So no one can take away this energy running through your system. No one can take away those gifts, those amazing skills that you have. And what stood out to me, and I want to talk about that, there are two channels, and channels are lines that are connecting two centers. There is one, that's the 515, if you can see it. And
Mm-hmm.
there's the other one, that is the 4426. So this one. And they stood out. And they explained to me, oh, that's why I perceive her the way I perceive her. She is the born entrepreneur. And I always have those questions on my mind. I don't forget about them. This is what I want to ask you soon. So if you want me to explain to you what that means, this is, for me, this is the core engine, the secret of who you are.
Yeah, tell me, please. I have no idea. Looking at this chart, it looks like pipes. I have no reference points for this. So I'm really appreciating how you're explaining it.
Yeah. So let's just focus on this defined part that is colored in, and those channels that connect two centers. So let's first of all dive into the 2644, which for me is the entrepreneurial channel. I would love to have that. I really would love to have that. So this is connecting the ego center, the willpower, and your intuition. That is the brown triangle. I can really talk about the details of that to explain more of what that means to have this entrepreneurial channel. It is called the channel of surrender. And that is someone who is designed to show up as a transmitter. I want to split it up into the parts to really explain what that means. And I think that is so valuable maybe for everyone who looks at their chart when they run their chart. So gate 26, that's just halfway, maybe the red part. Gate 26 is the gate of the taming power of the great. That means you are someone who is always looking for maximum results. You are someone who wants maximum rewards for what you do. And combined with the 44, that is the coming to meet gate, that is the manager, that is the one who has a nose for people, just connecting the two of them makes this channel of being a transmitter, someone who is amazing with people, someone who knows how to be present, someone who knows how to present opportunities, offers, wisdom, knowledge, someone who can wait until people find you, the right people find you, and then you can pretty much sell everything because you know how to market, because you have this skill to communicate, skill to sell, skill to get the maximum rewards out of what you do. You find the right words and you spot the right people. So that is this channel. And I'm going to stop the screen share that maybe you can add your impression or feedback about what I just shared.
Well, I love what you said, because transmitter is definitely what I feel like I do. I transmit positive energy, motivational energy, inspiring energy to people, and then level it up with a skill set.
Yeah.
So I figured out how to communicate effectively, but then teach people how to communicate and transform the skill set that I have as an entrepreneur into their own.
Okay.
That's really what I love about what you said. Yes, selling. I always say sales is serving others with solutions, because I don't see it as the conventional way that people see sales as negative. I see it only as a positive, because people deserve to solve their problems faster. And so if they present a problem, then I absolutely am going to present a solution. And if it's in alignment, then we talk about working together or something of that nature. So it's never, and sales is always about alignment too. So I love that. In marketing, I see marketing, my working definition is SEO, for your client's mind. So marketing is just, figuring out exactly what people's needs are. Even when I was in ministry, I was supposed to be the Catholic campus minister, but I attracted such a variety of different individuals from different walks of life, non-denominational, Protestant, agnostic, atheists, and we were all just coming together to do, we did faith, fun, fellowship, and food, all fostered under the Catholic. But I just, what I want people to know is you always show up well and authentically, and then just make your number 2 goal to empower the person in front of you, no matter what. And so that's always, I'm like, what is it you need to do or hear or say to figure out your most authentic self, and then build your business on top of that?
So valuable. And I feel there is so much integrity in what you say. So it's not about making the sales or selling to people. It is really, that's what you said in the beginning. It's about really helping them to succeed. And then sales is service. So I totally understand what you say and what you want to transport. That is so true.
Well, you always sell people your authority, your credibility, and your relatability. The last one is the most important first.
Yeah.
And you want to care. In the world that I live in the coaching business, it's really about presenting that you care about their business as much as they do. Try not to care more, but I mean, you get caught up in those things. But yes, it's transmitting that.
Yeah.
Like, how can I empower you to more and better for business growth, to serve more people with your incredible solution?
Love it. Love it. And you said you attract people, and that is the other part. I talked about this connecting line, this channel, and then I shared with you there is the 515. And when we dive into that one, that is called the design to be in the flow, the rhythm channel. And what that means is that you have this magnetic aura. You really draw in people. You pull people into your space naturally, because you radiate what you have to offer. You are here to help them generate more harmony through rhythm, and you have this ability to really be in the place at the right time, or right place, right time. There is this amazing timing in your life. So splitting it up, gate 5 is about waiting, and that means that you have built-in routines. That is, and I just relate that to what you said earlier, it is really having focus and having a structure at what you do, because it's not about having more time than other people. And the other part, the 15 part, is about modesty. And that means you can easily adjust to circumstances. And if needed, you adjust the way you show up, you adjust your systems that you have in place. You believe in the only thing that is something that stays is change, because everything is changing all the time. And so you have this ability to really be in the flow, because you adjust and you have those systems in place, and you attract people into your field through this.
I think that one of the reasons I've been blessed to attract people is because I believe that every single person deserves a space of radical self-acceptance in their life. And many people haven't been given that opportunity to feel what that feels like.
Yeah.
Well, I believe in the world of business ownership and entrepreneurship, and any capacity, anyone who's working deserves to have that experience of radical self-acceptance. And so I just believe that I get so passionate about when I even say that word. It kind of hits me on a very like deep level, because that's the point. That's like the point of anything I get to give starts with that first. It's never about the coaching, the business coaching, the life coaching, anything, the skill set, sales, branding, marketing. It's really about, let me give you an experience where you get to feel completely accepted based on who you are, regardless of anything else. And that is the first gift that I get to give. So it's always about that gift first. And that's weird. I wasn't going to focus on that, but that's really what hit me. Like, someone must need to hear that you deserve to have radical self-acceptance. And if you haven't been giving yourself that gift, find some way to experience that. Have a conversation with someone who can do that for you and with you.
Yeah. So you added to my question list, because and now I need to ask you this question, because there is part of this in your chart that is everything that you do comes somehow from self-acceptance in your own life, from some experiences, something in your past, and you don't have to really dive into if you don't want to.
No problem.
You take that because you experience that could be a high or a low, and you put that together to honor what you experienced, and you offer that to others without any judgment, because even though you really look amazing and accomplished and everything, your chart says, that there can be other facets in life, that there can be lows, that there can be experiences that look like, okay, now I'm totally done. And you have this gift of honoring that, appreciating that you are all of that. And with your imagination, you stretch other people's horizons. You bend the rules because you did them. You bended the rules yourself. You bent the rules yourself. And you can help them to soar far above mainstream.
Yes, because limitless potential. You don't want to delete anything along your timeline. Speaking to the dark lows, divorce for anyone. I may say candidly, Zoom divorced because it sounds bizarre, but the truth is that was extremely, pruning experience. And I say pruning because it's like, you're just like, oh, you're cutting away at all of those things, the memories, the negativity, and seeing, where is my authentic self in this? How can I stay in alignment? Is this true for me or about me based on this experience or this relationship? And so, and also I'm in recovery for 18 years. And so in Alcoholics Anonymous, I have no problem saying that. I've done a podcast about sober diaries. But that's, those low points, sometimes we want to ignore them or delete them or not share them with the world. But I believe that all of those moments along your timeline help you to help somebody else. And relate. Relatability is such a superpower, because the more people you can relate to, the more people will feel empowered by you because they feel that you understand them. And, I've always had a very strong spiritual connection to God, always. And so I've never felt alone in any part of my journey through life, ever. Yeah. And so that's really the other driving force. I see everything. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And while I don't talk about that extensively, that's always the undercurrent of that positive, empowering energy. I don't always have to say it.
I love that. I love that. And I love your honest sharings about your past experiences. That makes you so human, so relatable. And I just experienced that yesterday and today in a conversation with potential clients, that it's all about relatability. And so I shared this, and that sounded so strange. I shared about me appreciating things like body issues, like failure when it came to building the business, as something that is highly precious, because now, and divorce as well, so I totally relate to that. Now I totally can understand when people show up and they share about this and that dark space and that dark place, because I haven't just read about it or heard about it, but I experienced that, and I can more relate to where they are and be a better catalyst to help them where they want to be. And so that's exactly what you said.
That negative experience didn't feel good, but the relatability based on the experience with another person does feel good.
Yeah. But when you are in the experience, you can't see that oftentimes. So I try to do that, because the honest share here is life goes up and down and up and down. And I bet that is the way that you experience life as well. It's not just this climbing a mountain and going beyond the top of the mountain.
But I also wanted to add in, based on the relatability, there's the next step.
Yeah.
Because many people in the world of business or entrepreneurship, they get stuck, not stuck already, but stuck living under the influence of circumstances, environments, situations, emotions, or experiences, and feelings, and they allow that to dictate their limitless potential, which becomes limited potential in business growth, and your ability to empower others. So there's still the action that's required, where you have to exercise that muscle of choosing to become the influence and intentional with your next steps that will lead to success, what success looks like for you.
And thank you. That is guiding me back to those questions, or this question that I had when you said, I started just showing up and building the plane while I was flying. Is that something for everyone? So if I came into your space, I am someone who has sustainable energy, and I am happy to step on stage. I can do improv theater, but improvising, which is building the plane while you're flying, is this something that everyone can do? What do you think? What are your ideas about that?
The secret to building the plane while you're flying it is two things. Number one, learning to observe versus absorb, and ask people the right questions to get inside their headspace as soon as possible, as fast as possible. The second thing is to do organic market research. Learn from your competitors, learn from your prospects, learn from your network. Always doing organic market research, seeing what people love, what they hate, where their headspaces are at, what they're struggling with, what they're happy about. So observing around the world around you and the people around you and having conversations will give you everything you need to figure out your next move. for creating a program, for presenting a product or a message or a service. But we're not trained to practice growing that muscle as entrepreneurs. We're told you have to have these things set up right. And I said, no. I have to teach you the stuck on ready mindset so that you will have a skill set that will help you forever be successful, to become adaptable. Really, that's the skill set that we want to have, to become adaptable so that you could be successful in your industry forever.
So what that sounds like is we really challenge or really, really criticize mainstream because they say you need this perfect website. You need to learn about how to handle LinkedIn. You need to learn how to do social media posts. You need to do this and then take another course on that and then invest in that and invest in this and just look at the background and look at this and that and this and that. And then you are stuck on ready. So when I hear what you say, you really challenge this mainstream truth, which obviously is no truth in your eyes and your mindset.
Well, that's exactly why I created my programs, to be the one-stop shop for entrepreneurs and coaches. Because I said, listen, I can teach you what other 10-week programs, I could teach you that in an hour. Mm-hmm. So there's no lack of new knowledge, with AI generation coming out, so many new tools. But what tools do you need right now to grow your business where you are at? There's different levels. There's the startup and there's the successful person, the successful entrepreneur or business owner. So you always have to be figuring out, it's like, what do I need right now? And there's really the basic components. You just need to know how to stay in the right mindset, know how to sell, brand, market yourself. And honestly, social media is definitely a huge place for you to reach your target market. So there is definitely a skill set that goes is involved in that. But the first step is always being in the stuck on ready mindset. Yeah. Always. It's foundational.
Cool. So that sounds simple and doable, what you just share with the world. So there is hope for everyone and everyone can train this muscle. That's what you said. I love this saying that everyone can train the muscle and no one is left behind or lost if only they take this action and they are ready to train it.
Yes.
So, yeah, I like that. I would love to once again share the screen to show your chart because there are other aspects in the chart. And I want to talk about the white centers. And the white centers, they are open centers. And I would love to know how you deal with that because sometimes they could be challenging because openness, they are open centers. They let you or allow you to tap into the world's energy, into other people's energy, their mind when it comes to this center, the head space. You feel and sense and see the questions of other people. Mm-hmm. You can tap into their emotions through this open emotional center. So you feel when people feel stressed, sad, angry, as well as happy and fulfilled. So you totally feel that and you can really adjust your language, your way of speaking to whoever you speak to. So just to give people and you this overview of what the openness means, that means you can really adjust and tap into other people's energies. At the same time, these centers are centers that can be conditioned, manipulated, intruded, and they can add quite some stress and pressure to you. So I see the magnificence of you using this ability to adjust to how to speak to someone, to tap into their emotions, to get the inspiring ideas of others and reflect them back because you're an amazing listener. I want to talk about pressure as well. And maybe you have an honest share about that, and maybe even a tip or a hidden gem as well. When we talk about the openness of the root, that's all about being pressured about time. And you talked about time, and I feel like we need to really circle back to that. It's about having a to-do list, and even worse, getting a to-do list from someone outside of you and needing to check the boxes. And the open route says, oh, well, I need to check this, and that box, then I'm free. And then when they are at box 4, they're like, there are still 2 more tasks to do, then I'm free. And the truth is, you will never, ever be free from those tasks. But that's what the pressure of the root is all about. It's about timing and getting pressured by something from the outside. Is that true for you? And do you struggle with that? Or how do you overcome that if this is true for you?
So no, I don't feel that actually. And here's why. And this is true for anyone. You develop that solid foundation of your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing can penetrate that. No pressure, no stress, no anything. That's funny that you said check off boxes, though. I did create the Stuck on Ready mindset programming where you do check off boxes today to take care of your 4 selves, hire and fire the right mental team, aligning with your authentic self through your mental rehearsal, the brain dump. So I definitely have boxes to check off. But what really sets the tone for this is the radical self-acceptance. I teach any individual that I come across to have you self-validated your success, because your never-ending to-do list doesn't end until you're dead or you have no opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So,
with
that being said, at the end of each day, you need to self-validate your success to create some space between your days. Because most entrepreneurs will self-sabotage, solopreneurs, coaches, and they'll say, I'm not a success because of this. And it may be on a subconscious level that they're selling themselves this. Selling, I always say you're your number one client. You buy every thought that you sell yourself. So in that setting, what you're selling yourself is sabotage. So you can sell yourself success. And I say success looks like your personal and professional life.
Yeah.
I honor if you honor your roles and goals every day, like I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, I'm a coach. And that's, I think, and then I put another as a business owner, top 5 priorities based on your end goals. Then I'm a success today. If my kids were fed and they were all wearing clean clothes and they went to school and I've gotten, 1 load of laundry done and I met with clients today, then I'm a success, right? But you can do anything. You could say anything and start to feel successful. So if you're listening right now and you've been selling yourself sabotage about anything you're doing in your life or your business, pause with a purpose right now and just write down 5 things that you can feel successful about, because what it's going to do is get you in the right headspace to start to become successful and start to give you the motivation, the oomph that you need to take the right action.
And that is one of the cosmic laws. Whenever you doubt yourself and you talk to yourself in a really negative way because you feel like, I didn't check the box, I'm a loser, I'm just a failure, then you get more of that. And then you never ever get those things done and you don't feel the internal and external success. I'd 100% agree. Whereas if you just celebrate yourself and you say, yes, that is my success, my form of success, then your mindset and even your frequency changes. You uplift yourself into another realm when we talk about frequency. So is there maybe a ritual or anything that you do to celebrate yourself, to really honor your successes? What do you do, Bridget?
Well, honestly, it's that simple. I'm taking a walk with the dogs and I'm going through the successes and I'm reminding myself, or I'm in car line and I'm reminding myself. Sometimes people need an anchor though. If they haven't practiced this and made it a part of their mental program, You get a birthday candle because most of the time we associate that with celebration, celebrating ourselves. And you put it in whatever food of your choice. And then you light the birthday candle and you go through those moments of, I was successful today because.
Yeah.
And I should also, say that I'm actually pretty hard on myself in terms of expectations for what I want to accomplish, how many people I want to empower. So it's not letting go of, the expectations of what you see success as, what you see success for yourself. It's actually keeping those in mind too, but you have to give yourself moments where you remind yourself of that I'm successful because that mindset, like you said, will carry over to the next interaction.
And so when you said, but I set some expectations, what if you don't keep up to those set expectations? Are there some obstacles in this? So to me, it is like this flawless life. Are there some obstacles that you have to deal with?
Mindset's the number one solution and the number one problem. Should I say that the other way? Mindset's the number one problem. So it's always going back to, how can I get to the fastest way to close the gap between knowing and doing? Mm-hmm. Knowing and doing, because if you're in a sabotage state, action is always the answer.
But just let me interrupt you here. Is it a conscious decision that you make? Because you have, and that is what everyone here has, you have past experiences. You experienced periods that were not so happy and flawless. So is it a decision that you make to keep that container that is you, that contains all the gifts, everything that you are? Is it a decision to keep that uplifted, full of hope, full of motivation, full of inspiration, full of all that good stuff, and you decide to keep outside of this container what weighs you down, what slows you down? I would love to really discover the secret of Bridget.
It is a conscious decision every single day. I don't know if you ever saw the movie. This reminds what conversation we're talking about. The movie 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. Yeah. Okay. So they have a VHS in that movie, right? And at the end of the movie, she has memory impairment. She restarts her day every single day. Doesn't remember anything. So he plays a video to remind her of the life that she has. Yeah. And the amazing things, but also reminds her of like, oh, you've had this past, but here you are now, and look where you've come. And I find that people appreciate that, knowing the entire picture. That's how we form real relationships. And so what I do every morning, I do the exact same Stuck on Ready mindset programming. Every single one of my people in my programs, Find Your Freedom program, Stuck on Ready program, do to be stuck on ready. So you have to hit that reset button every day to become the empowerment generator. And it's a conscious decision because sometimes, you have to acknowledge feelings aren't your friends. Right. And I feel like sitting at Starbucks today, or I feel like, going and seeing a friend today. I feel like doing these things. But when it comes to business growth, feelings are not your friends. And you have to take that intentional action. And it's usually imperfect action, right? Perfectionism and procrastination are the same. To get to that next right move for success.
I just love what you shared, because I was really concerned that I might not be able to add something special to what you... So when you said, sometimes I feel like I would love to do that, sit at Starbucks, meet a friend, I want to share something out of your chart that could be such a great thing that doesn't need to change anything in your life, but maybe it's just a beautiful reminder of your purpose. Let me share that with you. I didn't intend to talk about it, but now that you said, sometimes I just need to be so focused on business, and when I want to succeed in business, and I think about Starbucks, and I think about that. So when I prepared to hop on this interview with you, I also looked into your gene keys, which are up there. So it's this combination of gates, the 64, 63, the 45, and the 26. And they contain a lot of information about a shadow part and the light part, the enlightened part, the gift part of a successful genius path. And I really wanted to know that, and I want that to really share with people that are in my realm. And the most outstanding thing that I found in this detective work that I did was gate 26. And gate 26 is all about your purpose, your life's purpose. And maybe that's a surprise for you, but it is so important for you to surprise people and yourself, because your purpose might not be as serious and as business driven all the time as you feel, because you feel like there's the mission and I'm amazing, and you are amazing, Bridget, you are. And there is this aspect that having inner fun and joy and fun and just fun and joy, even though it is not focused on any outer success, is such an uplifting thing for you and your life and your kids and everyone around you. It's fun and joy and fun and joy.
Yes, that's 100% accurate. I'm very, very laser focused during 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. on empowering the people who are in front of me. But after that, I pick up the boys from school and I don't wear shoes. And, I put on my apron and cook dinner. And I go outside and play outside in the trees and the grass with them. And I need that connection. My boys are my biggest joy. They're actually my motivating factor for continuing to keep moving forward. They are the reason that I want to continue to work towards success. It's also a validation of self-actualization as well, like you mentioned in the chart. But they are really the reason that I'm like, okay, this is what we need next, boys, in our life. And, we're going to go to the fair and fun. And salsa dancing also gave me that. But need to always maintain an absolute peace of mind. And so being in nature, playing with my boys, having that kind of fun. And I add a lot of humor into anyone who's talked to me or worked with me knows that I'm like, I say things like, when you're feeling out of your mind, you're probably in somebody else's. And when you're in somebody else's, you're definitely out of your mind. And so constantly pulling back in the humor and the joy of what life has to offer. I'm like, this isn't that serious, people. Like, let's take this to a level where you can feel it and feel like you can take action to love your life and have a romance with life at the same time.
Wow. So Wonder Woman or Superwoman comes back because it seems as if you had the structure around business and work, and you don't override this structure by just working into the late evenings all the time, just overstepping the boundaries of having some time for yourself or for your kids, with your kids. It seems as if you pay a lot of attention to really having this balance and harmony in your life.
That's the only way I can be as effective as I am in all areas. That's where the effectiveness comes in, to the present, being intentional.
I love it. One last question, because we didn't talk about the law of deservability, and I like this invention of yours, or this law that you came across that you talk about. Could you just fill us in on what is the law of deservability?
It's that we create our reality and our relationships and our business not based on what we desire, but what we believe we deserve, which is a subconscious program that starts to dictate how we show up every single day. So you'll have to read chapter 4 in the book, Stuck on Ready, which you can get for free at stuckonready.com.
I already ordered it.
I think that you'll really love it. I'm getting so much great feedback from everyone who's reading it. They say it's their business Bible. They say, I just open up a page to get stuck on ready for my day, and it's there, whatever I need. So I'm very grateful people are using it for their business growth.
That is so cool. So cool. So deservability. So what you think you deserve is what you get. And that could really go back to ancestral lineage that might stop you from getting what you want, but you can always make a conscious decision. You can just let go of the past and can thrive and go beyond what you think is possible. I love that you shared that. Is there a hidden gem, anything you want to share to wrap our beautiful, empowering conversation up with so many gems in between, because you shared such a lot?
Just, if you're listening right now, just focus on this. Make your number one goal to show up well and authentically in every interaction, in every conversation, in every business dealing. Make your number two goal to empower the person in front of you, no matter what.
I love it. I love it. Bridget, thank you so much. People can find you on LinkedIn. They can find you everywhere in the World Wide Web. You have a website that is in the show notes, and they can order your amazing book, Stuck on Ready, at Amazon, I bet.
Yes, or they can get it for free at stuckonready.com.
Okay. So an invitation to everyone who is listening, reach out to Bridget, order her book for free, and dive into Bridget's world, because she is such an inspirational, honest lady of integrity. And I love that we had this raw and real talk about who you are, how you inspire people. And I really can say that this special episode was such a magnificent one. Thank you for being my guest, Bridget.
Thanks, Patricia. It's been awesome.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Magnificence, the one and only empowerment podcast that strikes a match and shines the light on the magnificence of my guests, and especially on your magnificence. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for this empowering episode. To continue this journey of aligning with your true purpose and uncovering your magnificence, schedule an illumination call with Patricia at patricialindner.com. Please share this episode with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the show on YouTube and your favorite podcasting platform. Join us again soon for another episode of Magnificence.